I have a serious question that requires an immediate answer. You know, I made a video earlier before the results of Virginia were starting to come in, about something that the former Speaker of the House last night on Fox News stated. And I'm paraphrasing, but closely quoting, that if the election was close in Virginia, the Democrats would find a way to steal the election. Now, the race hasn't been called yet, and the Republican candidate is up by a couple of percentage points. But that's one race in Virginia for governor. My question is sort of kind of a larger contextual question in terms of American elections. And my question, I'm sort of kind of asking for a friend. 80 million friends, in fact. Are elections in America now only deemed legitimate when the Republican candidate running for fill-in-the-blank office wins their, election? Because if the Republican candidate doesn't win their election that they're running for office, from the top, their cult leaders told them, well, all you have to do is allege fraud and thievery and nefariousness. And then if you can't prove any of that, just fine you votes. Now, if that's the mantra of, the cult, but then when they win an election, they get online and they cheer. And they're like, yeah, we won. But wait a minute. You can't go from not believing in democratic principles of, abiding by outcomes, regardless of if they're favorable or unfavorable to you, to then the next minute go to, the rest of us should abide by this democratic principle because you've reigned supreme in this instance. No, we all have to be playing on the same chessboard, so to speak. Now, if Glenn Youngkin is the ultimate victor and becomes the governor of Virginia, he should definitely be sworn in. The certification process should definitely happen. You shouldn't have a mob of people in paramilitary gear get together in the thousands and swarm the Capitol building and try to, stop and impede the process of, the certification of Glenn Youngkin to become the next governor. You should definitely not do that. That's all the things that, conservatives and Republicans do when they lose elections, free and fair elections, and then claim that, they didn't lose them. They were just stolen. And, they set up rallies to stop the steal, whereas the steal never existed. That caused mass violence and damage in our society to the point where it's caused a lot of division and still does cause division. And now people want to cheer on the process that had been the norm prior to January 6th, which is a peaceful acknowledgement of abiding by outcomes, whether favorable or unfavorable. Like I said in the first video earlier, you can't have elections under these circumstances. You can't say only when you get the outcome you want, which is the Anglo-Saxon Christian male outcome, that when you get your preferred outcome, then elections are valid. But anybody else that gets their preferred outcome, elections are invalid and there must be violence. No. You can't do that in a democratic public. No. There's nothing democratic about that. There's nothing civil about that. You know, regardless of who becomes the next governor of Virginia, this whole thing about elections now, after January 6th, and after what their cult leader did, it sort of kind of rubs us all the wrong way. To be honest with you, how in the hell can you justify voting on the same machines that you claim, well, just rigged the previous election? Why did anybody vote for Glenn Youngkin? It also supports the big lie that the election in 2020 was stolen. Those are the same machines you voted on. So if you really believe the lie that, well, the machine stole the election in 2020, why didn't those same machines just steal the election tonight? Oh, they would have stole the election had your candidate lost. That would have been the claim. What kind of fucking idiocracy is this shit? And you got one political party wanting to play by this bullshit. The rest of us are out here not minding all of this bullshit. We're getting ready. Today, the government of China urged all of its citizens to, well, bulk up on essentials. I told you that a long time ago last year. Get beans and rice. Things are going to get bad. There are going to be shortages. I can guarantee you that. And there already have been shortages. That's fact. You know, people will want to blame the current president for everything. But, well, a lot of this started because of the last guy. But nobody remembers that. People are short-sighted, short-memoried. They only remember what's happening in the here and now. But it's not to say that, well, politicians that, well, actually do the right thing for once aren't going to be rewarded. No, that's not the case at all. But, well, there still will be tough times. You know, I don't like this whole political thing that we're doing now. We got to either decide that we want to do politics now, or we want to suspend the notion of politics at the moment. Because too many people are not playing politics. They're playing with people's life. You know, had Terry McAuliffe won tonight, they would have claimed that it was fraudulent and become violent in Virginia again. We've already seen parts of that in the school board meetings all across, well, Loudoun County. You know, Loudoun County, the county that's been on the news for all of these school board protests. It went by 10 percentage points for the Democrat, Terry McAuliffe, in Virginia. It just goes to show you, the media has been hyping up, well, fringe elements across this country. You have to wonder why they are focusing a lot of attention on fringe elements. We all know that there's fringe white nationalists in this country. That white supremacy is a real thing. Why is the media harping on this? Well, could it be that that's generating this conservative base, motivating them to want to, well, participate? But participate in a rigged system? Why do such a thing? You know that your votes won't be counted, right? So why are you voting? You know, these lies have to be challenged head on at this point in time because they're dangerous. They're dangerous, well, for everybody that doesn't believe in them, for everybody that doesn't agree with them. If, well, they don't get the outcome they want, it's violence. If they do get the outcome they want, it's violence. No. You know, all of these groups, the Three Percenters, the Proud Boys, the Boogaloo Boys, all of these groups, Oath Keepers, all of these paramilitia groups, everybody knows they're racist. Everybody knows they're hate groups. But yet nothing is ever done to them. Now you kind of wonder why that is. Well, maybe a lot of those people are, active law enforcement agents. So they can't really do anything with them when they're the ones pretending to be enforcing the law. You know, this rot runs deep. But we're talking about elections and not law enforcement. But in a way, both issues intertwine. Because, if you don't believe in democracy, then all of these stunts are just that. Shams that are being put on for us to, marvel and pretend as though things are normal when they're not. You know, I really don't think that, Glenn Youngkin should accept being the governor of Virginia. Even if he wins, he should turn it down. How can you accept the endorsement of somebody who, still claims that the election that was just last year was stolen by machines? Those same machines used to vote for you to be the victor. So he should say, the election was stolen. I didn't really win, and so I'm not going to assume the governorship. I'm going to give it to Terry McAuliffe, because these same machines were just used in the previous election, and they were rigged for Joe Biden. You see what I mean about this bullshit? No. One party thinks there's a chessboard. The other party knows there's no chessboard. They know that they're finished. White supremacy is over with. And so they'll do anything, whatever it takes, to try to maintain it. Did you hear about Michael Flynn? A still in the service intelligence officer hiring foreign intelligence officers to spy on senators, judges, Congress members. A plot to, still try to overturn the election from last year. This just came out on Halloween. A credible plot. But they'll cheer about Virginia because their candidate potentially won or might win. You know, these are not elections, these are shams. We know what's really going on. There's huge conflict out there. We know it. We can sense it. You can feed us these spectator games all you want. No. We know underneath the surface what this is really all about. And as citizens, all of us, we're going to have to make a choice. A crucial choice. And it's coming very soon. Everybody has their choice to make. You know what the Purple People's House choice is. We don't side with fascism. We don't side with Nazis. We don't side with white supremacists. No, no, no. And fascism, make no mistake, is here. When one party doesn't want to, abide by any democratic principles, but still, hold up the democratic principles when they work in their favor. But, despair can say they don't exist when they don't work in their favor. No. We know what that ultimately leads to. And we all have to be ready now. For those people in alternative media, for people of color in this country, this last portion is for you. Make no mistake, this is hatred, a hatred and fear-based hatred. And well, people, citizens, people who you might not know, have deep-seated hatred for other people in this country. And well, the choice is whether you are a person of hatred or a person of, well, dignity, respect, and love for others. This choice isn't political. It's, well, about our existence, being here. The Republican Party is a disgrace. Everyone's still in that party that calls himself a Republican and operates under that, well, what it is, a cult, is a disgrace. You're not a Democratic run institution or political party. You're a fascist, well, white ethno-racist organization masquerading as a political party. I know people will continue to vote Republican. That's fine. But there really has to be something about, well, the preservation of whether we want to continue elections or not. You know, it wasn't always the case that, well, citizens voted for United States senators. They used to be appointed by governors. And it might have to go back to a system like that. If there's no faith by the citizenry in the outcome of elections because of such poisonous partisanship by one cult leader, then why should the other people have to participate in a system where they feel that their voices don't ever get heard because the other side will claim that they stole it from them? That's not free nor fair. Shame on Newt Gingrich for that bullshit you pulled last night. Shame on you. You're a disgrace. Shame on Sean Hannity for that bullshit. You didn't even ask him. You didn't follow up. How was the election going to be stolen, Newt? Please detail us this. Read out the ABCs of, well, the theft plan, you know. Complete bullshit. Complete bullshit.